Have you ever felt like no matter what you do, you're stuck in a cycle of sadness or hopelessness? Is the weight of the world just too heavy to carry? You're not alone. Today, we're talking about something that affects millions of people, but isn't always easy to speak of: depression.
That's right, John. Many of us experience those moments when everything feels overwhelming. But what if I told you there are ways to fight back? Depression is real, and it's tough, but it's also something we can overcome with the right tools and support.
In today's episode, we're going to explore practical steps you can take to fight depression, build resilience, and reclaim your happiness. Whether you're personally struggling or know someone who is, this conversation is for you. Segment 1. Understanding depression. So what is depression? Depression is more than just feeling sad. It's a mental health condition that can affect your mood, energy levels, and even how you think. And the key to fighting it is first to recognize what it is.
Yes, John. It's important to understand that depression is not a sign of weakness. It's a medical condition that can happen to anyone, regardless of age, gender, or background. It can be triggered by many factors like stress, trauma, loss, or even biological reasons such as chemical imbalances in the brain. Acknowledging that it's real and valid is the first step in addressing it.
Absolutely. One of the most challenging aspects of depression is that it often makes people feel isolated or ashamed. But it's crucial to know that you're not alone. So many people go through this, and there's no shame in reaching out for support.
That's right. John, seeking help shows strength, not weakness. Whether you're struggling with mild symptoms or more severe ones, talking to someone, a friend, family member, or therapist, can be the beginning of your healing process. Depression can cloud your thinking, making it hard to see solutions or hope, but opening up to someone can lift that burden.
And remember, if you or someone you know is struggling with depression, it's okay to seek help. There are professionals and resources available, like counselors, support groups, and even online platforms that can provide guidance. You don't have to fight this battle alone.
Exactly. And while professional help is crucial, there are also self-help strategies that can complement treatment. Things like mindfulness, exercise, and even building healthy routines can make a big difference. But the first step is always recognizing when you need help.
Yes, and just like any other health issue, depression can be treated with the right support and care. It's all about taking that first step, whether that's reaching out to someone, seeking therapy, or even starting a daily habit that promotes mental wellness. Segment 2. The importance of self-care.
One of the most effective ways to fight depression is through self-care. Taking care of yourself might sound simple, but it's essential. And it's not just about relaxing. It's about establishing habits that actively support your mental health and well-being.
That's right. Simple activities like getting enough sleep, eating healthy foods, and exercising can make a big difference. For example, exercise releases endorphins, which are natural mood lifters. Even just a 20-minute walk outside can boost your mood and energy levels. It doesn't have to be intense, it just has to be consistent.
And don't forget about mental self-care. Taking time to do things that bring you joy, whether it's reading, drawing, journaling, or meditating, can help manage stress and clear your mind. Engaging in creative or relaxing activities helps take your focus off negative thoughts, which can be powerful when you're feeling low.
Exactly, Jenny. Sometimes we underestimate the impact that small acts of self-care can have on our overall mood. Even something as simple as spending a few minutes each day in silence or practicing gratitude can help shift your perspective. It's about giving yourself a mental break and making time for the things that nourish you.
And let's talk about boundaries. Setting boundaries is crucial for self-care. Many people feel overwhelmed because they take on too much, whether at work, in social situations, or even with family obligations. It's important to know that it's okay to say no when you're feeling stretched thin.
Yes, saying no doesn't mean you're letting others down. It means you're protecting your own mental and emotional well-being. Prioritizing yourself is key. If you're constantly pouring your energy into others without recharging, you'll eventually burn out, which can worsen feelings of depression.
And it's not just about saying no to others. Sometimes it's about setting boundaries with yourself. For example, if you find yourself endlessly scrolling through social media or watching the news, it might be time to step back. Consuming too much negative information can feed into feelings of hopelessness or anxiety.
That's such an important point, Julia. We have to be mindful of the media we consume and how it affects our mental state. Limiting exposure to negative or stress-inducing content and focusing on things that bring positivity can make a big difference. Your environment and habits shape your mental health, so being selective about what you allow into your life is part of self-care too.
Self-care isn't just something you do occasionally when you're feeling down. It's a daily practice. It's about creating a routine that supports your mental, emotional, and physical well-being, especially when times are tough. Even small actions, done consistently, can have a long-term positive impact on your mental health.
So true. Self-care might seem like a buzzword, but it's really about making choices that nurture your mental and physical health, even when life feels overwhelming. And it's important to remember, self-care looks different for everyone. Find what works for you, whether it's mindfulness, creative hobbies, or even just taking breaks when needed. Segment 3. Reaching out for support. Another key way to fight depression is to reach out for support. This could be friends, family, or professionals. Depression often makes people feel isolated, but staying connected with others is vital to recovery.
Exactly, Adam. Depression can make it seem like you're all alone, but the truth is, so many people are willing and ready to listen. Talking to someone about what you're going through can relieve some of that emotional weight. You don't have to carry everything on your own. Even just sharing your thoughts or how you feel with someone can reduce the sense of loneliness.
Absolutely. It can be hard to open up, especially when you're feeling vulnerable, but it's one of the most important steps in healing. Whether it's a friend who can just listen or a family member who checks in on you, having someone in your corner can make a huge difference. Sometimes it's not even about getting advice. It's just about feeling heard.
Yes, and if talking to someone close to you feels too difficult, some professionals are trained specifically to help with this. Therapists, counselors, or psychologists can provide guidance, coping strategies, and a safe space for you to express what you're going through. They understand the complexities of depression and can help you navigate it in a non-judgmental way.
Therapy doesn't have to be intimidating. A lot of people think, I can handle this on my own. But professionals are there because they know how to guide you through these tough moments. And it's not just about talking through your problems. Therapists can help you develop concrete strategies to manage your symptoms, whether it's through cognitive behavioral therapy, mindfulness practices, or other approaches.
Exactly. And for those who may not be ready for face-to-face interactions, online resources have made it easier than ever to access support. There are mental health apps like Headspace or Calm, and online forums or communities where you can anonymously share your thoughts and experiences. Sometimes knowing you're not the only one going through this can be comforting.
Plus, support groups, whether in person or virtual, can also be a powerful tool. These groups allow you to connect with others who are going through similar struggles. It's a reminder that you don't have to walk this journey alone. Some people understand exactly what you're feeling, because they've been there too.
And let's not forget about hotlines or text lines, which offer immediate, anonymous help. Sometimes you might need someone to talk to at the moment, and these resources can be incredibly helpful in times of crisis or when you need immediate support.
Right? And the most important thing to remember is that asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. It takes courage to open up, but doing so can make a huge difference in how you feel. No one should ever feel like they have to face depression by themselves.
Exactly, Adam. You don't have to go through this alone. Reaching out is a crucial step toward healing, and whether it's a loved one, a professional, or an online community, there's always someone ready to listen. Everyone deserves support when they're struggling.
Segment 4. Building positive habits.
Another powerful way to fight depression is by building positive habits. Establishing a routine can help create structure in your day and give you something to look forward to. It can be a simple yet effective way to regain a sense of control when things feel chaotic or overwhelming.
Yes, creating a daily routine, even if it's just small actions, can give you a sense of accomplishment and purpose. Start with manageable tasks, like making your bed in the morning, setting a few goals for the day, or planning your meals. These small steps might seem insignificant, but they create momentum and help build a sense of stability.
Absolutely. And don't underestimate the power of gratitude. Keeping a gratitude journal where you write down 1 or 2 things you're thankful for each day, whether it's the sunshine, a nice conversation, or even just a warm cup of tea, can shift your mindset. When you're in the middle of depression, it can be hard to see the positives, but practicing gratitude helps to retrain your brain to notice the good things, even on tough days.
That's a great point, Julia. Gratitude can act as a mental reset. It's not about ignoring the difficult things you're going through, but about balancing that perspective with small moments of appreciation. And when you start noticing the positive, even if it's just for a few minutes a day, it can slowly begin to improve your overall mood.
And let's not forget the importance of finding hobbies or activities that engage your mind and body. Hobbies like gardening, painting, knitting, or even cooking can be powerful distractions from negative thoughts. They give you a creative outlet, which helps break the cycle of rumination, where your mind just replays negative thoughts over and over.
Exactly. Hobbies can also provide a sense of achievement. Whether it's finishing a small project, learning a new skill, or just spending time doing something you enjoy, it reinforces that you're capable of creating and doing positive things. It's not about perfection, but about engaging in activities that make you feel good.
And remember, movement matters. Physical activity, no matter how light, can make a big difference. Even something as simple as stretching, walking around the block, or doing some light yoga can release endorphins, which are your body's natural feel-good chemicals. You don't need to run a marathon. Just getting your body moving a little each day can improve your mental state.
And that goes hand in hand with mindful habits. Whether it's taking 5 minutes for deep breathing exercises, practicing mindfulness, or even meditating for a few moments, these habits can help ground you in the present moment. Mindfulness can reduce anxiety and help manage stress, which often accompanies depression.
Yes, it's about finding balance. You don't have to overhaul your entire life in one day, but by consistently adding small, positive habits, you can start to build a routine that supports your mental health. It's the little things, repeated over time, that create big changes.
Exactly. Consistency is key. When you build these positive habits, over time they start to replace the negative patterns of thinking that depression often brings. And even on the days when it feels hardest, sticking to these small habits can help pull you through. Segment 5. The role of professional help. As much as self-care and support from friends and family are important in managing depression, sometimes professional help is necessary to fully address and manage the condition. Therapy, counseling, and in some cases, medication can be critical components of treatment.
Absolutely. Many people hesitate to seek professional help because they think they should be able to handle it on their own, or they feel ashamed. But just like you would go to a doctor for a physical illness, seeking help for your mental health is equally important. One of the most effective forms of therapy for depression is cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT.
Yes, CBT is a type of talk therapy that helps you identify and change negative thought patterns that contribute to depression. For example, if you tend to think, "I'm not good enough," or "nothing ever works out for me," CBT teaches you how to reframe those thoughts into something more constructive, like, "I'm doing my best and that's enough," or "This is a challenge but I can get through it."
Exactly. And what's important is that therapy doesn't just give you temporary relief. It equips you with long-term tools to manage depression, even when things get tough. You learn strategies to challenge negative thinking, cope with stress, and manage emotions more healthily. Over time, these tools can lead to lasting improvement in your mental health.
In some cases, medication may also be necessary. Depression can affect the balance of chemicals in the brain, and antidepressants are often prescribed to help regulate those chemicals. It's important to remember that there's no shame in taking medication if it's needed. Just like someone might take insulin for diabetes, medication for depression is a way to manage the condition.
Definitely. Many people find that a combination of therapy and medication works best for them. For example, Sarah, a 35-year-old woman, struggled with depression for years. She found it hard to get out of bed, lost interest in things she used to enjoy, and felt disconnected from everyone. After seeing a therapist and starting CBT, she began to understand her triggers and develop coping mechanisms. But she also realized that her depression was deeply tied to her brain chemistry. So, she worked with a psychiatrist to find the right medication. Over time, she felt more balanced, and the combination of therapy and medication helped her regain control of her life.
That's a powerful example, Julia, and it shows that asking for help doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're taking charge of your well-being. If you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or unable to manage depression on your own, reaching out to a doctor or mental health professional is a crucial step forward.
Yes, and it's important to remember that professionals are trained to understand what you're going through. They can offer a treatment plan that's tailored to your specific needs, whether that includes therapy, medication, or a combination of both. They provide an objective, non-judgmental space where you can talk openly about what you're experiencing.
Another thing to note is that therapy is not just for when you're in crisis. You don't have to wait until things are really bad before seeking help. It's okay to reach out early, even if you just feel a little off. Early intervention can prevent depression from becoming more severe, and it can give you the tools you need to handle life's challenges before they pile up.
Exactly. The sooner you seek help, the sooner you can start feeling better. And if you're nervous about talking to a professional, that's completely normal. It can feel intimidating at first, but therapists are there to listen, not judge. They're there to help you find a path to healing and provide support throughout the process.
So, if you're struggling with depression, or even if you just feel like something's not quite right, don't hesitate to reach out for professional help. Therapy and treatment can provide the guidance and support you need to feel better, manage your depression, and start living a healthier, more fulfilling life.
Yes, remember that taking that first step is often the hardest. But it's also the most important. Depression is a battle that no one has to fight alone. And with the right help, you can overcome it.
Segment 6. Ending on a positive note.
Fighting depression is a journey, and it's different for everyone. But remember, it's possible to feel better with the right tools and support. You don't need to have it all figured out at once. Taking small steps every day can lead to real progress.
That's such an important point, Julia. No matter how tough things may seem, there is always hope. Every day is a new opportunity to move forward, even if it's just one small step. Recovery is possible, and you're not alone in this journey. Every bit of progress counts.
Exactly. You are stronger than you think, and it's okay to ask for help. No matter how dark things feel, remember that every storm passes. One day, you'll look back and see how far you've come. Keep reminding yourself that you deserve to feel better, and taking action, whether big or small, makes a difference.
And don't underestimate the power of self-compassion. Be kind to yourself on the hard days. It's okay to not feel okay all the time. What matters most is that you keep moving forward, even when it's difficult. You're fighting, and that's something to be proud of.
Yes, if you're struggling, take that first step today, whether it's reaching out to a friend, going for a walk, or contacting a therapist. Every small step is a victory, and those victories will add up. Believe in your ability to overcome the tough times, and know that brighter days are ahead.
We hope today's episode has provided you with helpful insights and practical ways to fight depression. Remember, mental health is just as important as physical health, and you deserve to feel your best. The journey may not be easy, but it's one worth taking, and we're here to remind you that you are capable of healing and growth.
You have the strength inside you to face whatever comes your way, so keep going, even when it's hard. Take care of yourself, and remember that every step, no matter how small, is progress. The future holds brighter days.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you feel a little more empowered and hopeful. Remember, you're not alone in this, and there's always a way forward. Take care of yourselves, keep practicing your English, and prioritize your mental health. You're doing great.
This is Fluent English Conversation and Stories, reminding you to stay strong, stay connected, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. You've got this.
Signing off, and remember, tomorrow is a new day, full of new possibilities. Take care, and we'll see you next time.